Jack, welcome to the pod. How are you feeling?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. Let's do it.
Good, good. So, for those of you at home who might not know, Jack Beyer, you are a renowned New Bern pitcher, second baseman, and some might even say home run hitter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe people might know me as that. Not many, but yes.
But for those at home who don't know you, could you give them a little intro?
Yeah, yeah. I'm Jack, as she mentioned. I'm from Milford, Michigan. Over the summer, I was originally at Siena Heights, and then Siena Heights actually shut down, so I transferred to Spring Arbor, which is here in Jackson, Michigan. Um, She mentioned that I pitch. I have second base. I actually played almost everywhere this summer except catcher. Um, Loved every minute of New Bern, and I'm just excited to be on here and talk about my experience.
So, was it your first time in North Carolina this summer?
No, previously my parents and my just overall family have vacationed in the Outer Banks before,
Mhm.
so I've been to North Carolina previously, but this was the first time I've ever played baseball in North Carolina.
What'd you think? Was it a lot different?
I mean, the heat's probably the biggest thing. I mean, it's just unreal. Some days you're walking out to what feels like 110, and it's a different. You're playing a different game of baseball when you're in that kind of heat, compared to here in Michigan, where in the spring we would play games where it feels like 28 degrees, compared to 110. So that's probably the biggest difference. But honestly, it was awesome in North Carolina. It was one of the better states I've played baseball in for sure.
That's nice. What about the rain? Did you guys have rain like that in Michigan? I know it rained a lot this
Absolutely
summer.
not. No, well, Michigan weather is known for kind of being all over the place. One day it's snowing, one day it's 60 degrees, one day it's raining. So, um, I was more prepared for the heat, but then with it just raining every day, um, I really do like to play baseball, and when the rain would stop us from playing baseball, it wasn't very fun at that point. But luckily, we did get a lot of our games in. So,
So one thing we like to do on the pod is ask some fastball questions. So I'm going to ask you some questions and you just try to answer as fast as you can, okay?
okay.
If you were stranded on a desert island, what teammate would you bring with you?
Jack Wiseman, no doubt. Jack Wiseman for sure.
What is your go-to halftime order?
Oh, come on. The it was just I think it was just the straight cheeseburger, fries, and then cherry Pepsi. Had to be wild cherry Pepsi. And our girl
Hmm.
Autumn at halftime actually knew both me and Jack Wiseman's orders. So
Smithfield's or Zaxby's?
Zaxby's for sure. Smithfield's I only had it one time, so I don't think I can make a fair judgment. But from what I had at Smithfield's compared to Zaxby's, I mean Zaxby's is night and day.
If you could be sponsored by one brand, what would you be?
Gamma Sport Grips. I use it's a tennis brand, but I use their tennis grips on my bat. One of my buddies at Siena showed me how to tape them with Gamma Grip. Shout out Brock Olmsted. And I love them. I kind of hooked up with them a little bit. They sent me down some grips, and I got my teammates down here using it too. So that would be it for sure.
Nice. Okay, last question. Chocolate or banana pudding?
Oh my gosh. Uh, I would say chocolate pudding, but Chandler Jones's banana pudding, his mom, best pudding I've ever had. So chocolate pudding over banana pudding, but Chandler Jones's mom's banana pudding over anything, no doubt.
That's a North Carolina delicacy. Was that your first time having it this
First
summer?
time having it. I haven't even heard of it
Mm.
prior to
With
that.
did I can't remember if his had the vanilla wafers on top.
Oh yeah, it
Did
did.
it?
That was the
Yep.
best part.
Yep. Yep. So this summer you stayed with a host family. How was that? And another teammate, Jackson Hewitt.
Yeah. Oh, that was probably one of the better things about being in North Carolina, I think.
Mhm.
First meeting Jackson, he was such a cool guy, and we just connected with each other really well. And our host family, the Warners, were unbelievable. Their son Chandler was awesome. Their son Jack, even better. One of the best human beings I've ever met. And then the Miss Leslie, obviously, was probably, one of the nicest people I've ever met too. They opened their home to us, and they were just, awesome, from beginning to end.
We would hear about, you and spent you and Jackson spending time with your host brother Jack a lot. Can you give us any adventure stories that you went on?
Well, I mean, every day is an adventure with Jack, honestly. From 6 a.m. he's walking into your room asking you how you slept, and you're like, I need a few more hours of sleep, Jack. Um, or even taking him to the pool and squirting him with a squirt gun, or taking him around some neighborhood walks in the evening when it wasn't so hot. I mean,
Yeah.
he was awesome, and just being able to experience a summer with him and Jackson too, I bet can vouch that. I mean, he definitely made the summer 100 times better, more than we would have thought.
Yeah. So this summer you also went viral a few times on TikTok. How was that? With Jack Weissman, I will say. You guys were kind of a power duo on TikTok.
Yeah. Um, the first one that went viral was with Ricky. And quite frankly, I do remember getting made fun of for, going airborne in my jump, and people were saying I was too dedicated, but that I think right
I think
now
that's
that's
what made it. That's what made it.
for sure, and I think that's the most viewed video and most
Hmm.
liked video on the account.
I think it
Um,
is, yeah.
so I mean, you know, go big or go home. And then me and Jack, like, it wasn't even we wouldn't even do it for views or likes or anything. We just did it out of pure enjoyment because that's just who we are. We just like to
Hmm.
have fun and play baseball.
Yeah. So you also made another best friend on the team, our bat boy Gunner.
Oh,
You guys were very in sync this summer. So what was it like being able to not only like mentor him, but other kids during either kids camp or just at the games?
yeah, the all the kids were very energetic every time you were around them. Like the experience of just, having the kids around, but knowing that you're kind of like a big leaguer to them. It's something that me personally I don't take lightly at all. Just because I know I was in those kids' shoes at one point, looking up to, somebody that's 18, 19, 20 years old that's, you know, living out your dream. And specifically Gunner, I loved having Gunner around. He was always just, a bright spot of the day, and being able to watch him get better as the summer went on. And even when I went and finished out the summer in Greenville, he actually drove up and watched the game. So I got to take a picture with him after and talk about
Yeah.
everything. So um, just the experience to know that if, when I come back next summer, that he's going to be right there with me again, and just being able to hear, how his school year went and everything. Like, it's just, that's one of the biggest parts of going somewhere, is those small connections.
Was that your official announcement that you will be returning to the Southpaws?
Oh man, it's definitely in the back of my mind. New Bern, that it was unreal experience, by far the best summer I've ever had, and I think about it daily. So it would be hard to not have a thought about coming back.
We will keep everyone updated on that one.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite memory from the summer or like a top three maybe?
Top, I mean, by far number one is just playing baseball. Like,
Yeah.
I love baseball, and being able to play every day. Well, depending on rain, being able to play every day and being around some of my best friends. It's like, what else could you do? But I would say probably some of my favorite memories is just hanging out, like going to halftime, or me, Jack, and Mitchell Berger went and did an escape room in downtown New Bern. That was awesome. Going to Nathan's house. Shout out Nathan. Going to his house, and going to the beach, and hearing Noah Ferrar scream Shaboomy, like, just those small memories that in the moment you don't think much of, but then you look back at it and realize that that was what made the entire summer. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
the small moments that are really, you know, memorable.
So, Jack, we like to end the podcast with sharing our bear truths. So this can be like a fun fact or like a secret, but something that, the fans might not know about you that, you want to share.
You know, I think a good one is that I can solve a Rubik's Cube. I just did it for one of my classes the other day because my professor didn't believe me, so I stood up in front of the class and solved it. Um, but probably a fun fact is that I collect autographs. Like,
Wow.
at being a 20-year-old guy, you wouldn't normally think that, you'd be tweaking out over some minor league baseball player, but just being able to go and meet them and like not necessarily the autograph part, but get in to just see how they handle themselves around people and if you get the privilege to talk to them, just being able to hear about their experiences and how they kind of treat the game because that's what I want to do. So just being able to learn from people that are actually in the business and just being at baseball. I mean, why would you not want to be at a baseball game? And then just seeing those guys is very cool.
Do you have a favorite autograph or one that stuck like a meeting that like stuck out?
Uh, I I have a yeah I have a couple cool ones. Like I have a Mike Trout one. I have Dansby Swanson. Um, I got my grandpa worked with the the daughter of Mike Trout's dad, I believe. So I got that ball like from him directly through family. So
So Mike Trout's sister,
yes,
the daughter of Mike Trout's dad.
yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
Family oriented.
That sounds nice. Well, thank you so much for hopping on the pod today, Jack. We are excited to have you as our first guest.
I'm happy to be here. Shout out Derek Fay.
Do you have, do you want to call out anyone that you want to see on the pod?
I would love to see Landon Tyndall on here. I mean, quite frankly, Landon Tyndall or Mitch. I would love to see Mitchell Berger on here.
Okay. Well, maybe we can make that happen.
Let's do
Thank you,
it.
Jack.
Thank you.